there you go. In a matter of seconds, we have a Keith Haring character. Alright everybody, vlog number 10, we have reached double digits. So how's it going everybody? My name is Dylan Collins. This is kind of a vlog based channel. I live in New York City. I'm an artist. I'm a skateboarder. I do a couple of different things. For today's vlog, I figured I'd stay inside and talk about something that I've wanted to talk about for a while now. Now, like I said, I'm an artist. I do, one second. Just finished this new skateboard series. I make recycled skateboards. This is my ice cream series. So I take old beaten up skateboards and I carve them down into fun shapes. So I made 5 new colorways. This is the first one, second, third, fourth, and this is my favorite colorway for sure. Black, pink, and mint. Definitely like this one. Now I want to talk about an inspiration of mine. One of, if not the most influential artist in my life is Keith Haring. Now Keith Haring was a pop artist and graffiti artist who rose to fame in New York City in the 1980s. If you're not familiar with Keith Haring, who looks like this is the man who is behind the images that I'm sure you are familiar with, which look like this. And last but not least, his iconic dog, which everybody is familiar with, at least in the art world. Now I could spend all day talking about the history of Keith Haring. Maybe I'll make another video about that. What I will say very briefly is he rose to fame during the contemporary movement in the 1980s, specifically in the New York City scene with Andy Warhol and Jean-Michel Basquiat. These artists were just breaking all of the rules, and Andy Warhol is famous for pumping out hundreds of pieces of art out of his factory in New York City, where he would just be screen printing all day. Instead of spending months and weeks with a paintbrush on one specific painting, he would just screen print one thing, put 12 of them in a row, and call it a series. Artists like Keith Haring would finish a giant canvas in a day, but what was important about Keith Haring's work were the messages behind it. Keith Haring was speaking on things like love, sex, and war, things that we could all relate to, and he was just right in your face about it. Besides Keith Haring's straightforward messaging, I just also really love his approach at art. It's simple to do, anyone can learn it, it's a lot of fun, and it's basically a visual language. You basically start looking at these characters like the alphabet. They all kind of look the same, but a couple of twists and turns, and they have a life of their own. So before the tutorial starts, I want to show you guys something real quick. Now, I am very fortunate to have a basement in Brooklyn, New York, and I wanted to take advantage of that. So me and my roommates pulled together and we did this. So my roommates and I wanted to make our apartment as memorable as possible because these are some of the greatest times of our lives, and we wanted a mini ramp in our basement. But that is not the reason I brought you guys down here. What I really wanted to show you is what is relevant to this video, which is this Keith Haring mural. Now let me be perfectly clear, this is not a Keith Haring original mural. I painted it myself. This is a tribute to Keith Haring. I am inspired by him, and I wanted to come downstairs and see a bit of inspiration every single day. Now this is something that's very important. I painted this mural in one day, and I say that for good reason. Give me 1 second, I gotta move this couch. Okay, something that resonated me one time when I was listening to a Keith Haring interview was when someone said to him, how do you feel about people criticizing the fact that it is so easy for you and so fast for you to make a piece of art and sell it for something like $10,000? Now, the money's not important here. That's just what the interviewer was suggesting was the importance of the topic, and Keith Haring's response was just so perfect.
This big one, for all its size, only took him a couple of hours to do. Here too, he works fast.
I think it's more important to make a lot of different things and keep coming up with new images and things that were never made before than to do one thing and do it well. They come out fast, but I mean, it's a fast world.
They come out fast, but it's a fast world. Now, this was right about when the world seriously started changing in terms of media and television and networking. The whole world was starting to become connected, and we see that potency today in 2018 with things like the internet, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. The world has become a network of webs of connections and relationships, and for an artist in the 80s to be thinking like that, it was just kind of against the rules. And that's what it means to be an artist, to take rules and throw them out the window. You need to take what's been done, be inspired by it, and create something completely new. Okay, Okay, with that being said, I now want to teach you guys how to draw like Keith Haring. And part of the reason why I'm making this video today is because, drum roll please, rainy day. Now I love rainy days. It gives me an excuse to stay inside and make a how-to Keith Haring video. So, missed the door. Let's go ahead and get started on how to draw like Keith Haring. But first, let me put my skateboards away because they're very, very valuable, to me at least. Oh, and if you want to see more boards like this, you can follow me at Dylan_Collins on Instagram. Alright, enough plugging, time to learn how to draw like Keith Haring. Okay, let's talk about supplies. Honestly, you can use so many different kinds of supplies when it comes to drawing Keith Haring characters. You could use pencils and colored pencils, you can use markers, and you can even just use paint and a paintbrush. For this video, we're going to be using Sharpies. So this is what you're going to need. You're going to need some paper, a bunch of different colored Sharpies, and some black Sharpies for outline. I didn't really think this through. A clean desk is a clean mind, so let's clean this up. Keith Haring's style and approach at his characters can be described in many different ways. To simplify it, one good adjective would be it's a freestyle. Now, if you want to just go ahead and grab a piece of paper and a pencil, I can recommend that, but I definitely suggest just grabbing a Sharpie and going at it. There's really no rules here. You can make as many mistakes as you want, and eventually you'll figure out your flow, and eventually you can incorporate those habits into your style of art. So I'm just gonna go ahead and draw a Keith Haring character right now, and then I'll describe the steps of doing that on the second character, and then we're just gonna have a lot of fun. And there you go. In a matter of seconds, we have a Keith Haring character. Now, eventually, you won't even think about the steps on how to create this character. It'll just kind of be robotic. But what I can say is try to recognize what you're drawing. You're drawing a human being, basically. You want to always start with the head, and then from there, you want to root off with the arms, then the torso, and the legs. And if we were to break it down, it's one nice round swoop of the head, and the arms and the legs are in three parts. You have the first part of the arm, the second part of the arm, and then the hand. And then you just trace it back down to the torso. You bring the torso down or up or sideways, whatever direction you're going with the character, and you kind of just repeat that with the legs. And if you look at the legs and the arms, they're basically identical. Keith Haring loved color. He really, really loved color. And to have an endless supply of options of color, it's basically just freedom. It's creative freedom. So everything we just did with that black Sharpie where we created those outlines, we're gonna do the same thing with a color, then color it in, and then go back over with a black outline. The reason why we're doing the color first and the black after is because we don't want to stain our valuable markers with black ink. Alright, same as before, everybody. We're going to start with the head and then create the arms. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and come back down to the chest. Now let's go up with this hand, create the hand, back down, and we're gonna keep going and create the torso and come back down and meet him halfway. I think it'd be fun if we gave him a split. So let's go out with the leg, create the foot, same on this side, create the foot, and connect everything. Now as you can see, this isn't perfect, and you don't have to feel like it's perfect because we're gonna go over with the black outline in a couple of seconds. But for now, let's color this in. We're ready for the black outline. So you want to take a nice black marker and you're going to go over the character in the same exact shape that you started with. It's going to just enclose the whole thing, make it pop. Then we're going to add some animations, those cool lines that go outside of the character to really bring it to life. Now, like I said, we have to add the animations. Now, what Keith Haring did to add more life to his characters were these little lines outside of his characters that just kind of like brought them to life. They can be like these straight lines that pop off out of his head to make it look like he's thinking, make it look like he's jumping, even make it look like he's dancing with these nice swirly lines on the side. And there you go. You got yourself a nice, fun, vibrant Keith Haring character, and you do that about 1,000 times and it will not get old, I promise you. There you have it, everybody. Some fun Keith Haring characters for you. Now, I can make this video 1 hour long and draw these characters all day, but from what I just told you guys, if you just do those steps over and over and over again, you will be drawing Keith Haring characters before you know it. You do not have to restrict yourself to pencils or markers. You can also use paint and paintbrushes. So, before this video is over, I'd like to paint one more Keith Haring character. Supposed to be a jacket here. Ah, there we go. So this is a basic all-white denim Levi's jacket, and I want to paint a Keith Haring character on the back of it. A white jacket is nice, but to add some character to it would be even more fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint a character on the back, and I'm gonna go ahead and use this acrylic blue paint. Alright, I'm gonna let this dry. Luckily, I had just enough paint. This thing is now garbage. We're almost done with this brand new jacket. Swag. So everybody, that is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning how to draw like Keith Haring. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I make all kinds of videos. Usually they're just kind of random vlogs. But this one, I just wanted to continue my tribute to Keith Haring. So if you guys like this video and you know any artists or any young people, just send in this video. Everyone that is an artist should know how to draw like Keith Haring. It is definitely something that helps me and inspires me and pushes me to make all different kinds of art. Look guys, my friend showed up. I just taught the world how to draw like Keith Haring. What do you think?
You're wearing your coat backwards. Is that a straight jacket?
Yes, exactly. Yes, it's a straight jacket because you have to be crazy to make YouTube videos.
I think it smells like success.
Oh, look, we even got Prince in the shot now.
It's a family portrait.
So this is the part of the video where I tell you guys or ask you guys to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this channel. And of course, here's my Instagram, Dylan_Collins. It feels funny plugging my stuff when my friends are in the room. If you know anyone that likes Keith Haring, send them this video. Bye everybody.
I think it's more important to make a lot of different things and keep coming up with new images and things that were never made before than to do one thing and do it well. They come out fast, but I mean, it's a fast world.